US President Donald Trump has a problem. He wants to advance American interests, make America great again. America first. How many times have you heard him say that?
We're truly making America great again.
Then why is it that we keep getting this?
Well, you know why I'm profiting.
I will very simply put America first.
President Trump has a tendency to insert his sons, his friends, his loyalists in his, dare I say, profitable dealings with foreign nations. These figures, sons Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, son-in-law Jared Kushner, aides like Steve Witkoff and Howard Lutnick, they all have a conflict of interest. A crypto deal in Pakistan, an island in Albania, and now a mining deal in Kazakhstan. The US government is looking more and more like a profiteering vehicle with businessmen in the driver's seat. So is it really America first for Trump? I am Shubhangi Sharma. Let's find the link. Let's start with this rock. This little thing is what tungsten comes from, the hardest metal mined by man. It barely melts, and you cannot build a missile, a fighter jet, or a microchip without it. Now here's the problem. China controls almost all of tungsten's supply chain, about 80% of the world's mined production. And lately, China has been turning off the tap, sending the price up sixfold. So America went hunting, and the trail led to a village of 407 people in Kazakhstan. But follow that trail far enough, and you don't just find a mine, you find the president's sons. You find the Commerce Secretary's sons. Kazakhstan is a former Soviet republic, landlocked, wedged between Russia and China, and for 30 years it survived by playing every side at once. According to its president, Donald Trump has been sent by heaven. He joined Trump's so-called Board of Peace, and he signed up to the Abraham Accords, even though Kazakhstan has recognized Israel since 1992 already. So this was purely symbolic, but it handed Trump a diplomatic win that he wanted. Now, Kazakhstan signed that on November 6, 2025, and on that same day in Washington, Kazakhstan signed the Tungsten deal, backed by up to $1.6 billion in US government financing. So let's back up a bit. How did the Tungsten deal actually get done? Now, picture a luxury hotel in New York, and this was last September. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick across the table from Kazakhstan's president. And then the phone rings. It's President Trump, joining the call to close the deal himself. Right there, they win the Kazakh leaders' agreement to hand a little-known American company access to one of the largest untapped tungsten reserves on Earth. Ahead of that handshake, the Trump administration had already teed up $1.6 billion in federal financing, as I said, for this company, now called Kaz Resources, to break ground in rural Kazakhstan. The deal was signed. And then watch what happens. Within weeks, a firm partly owned by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump quietly takes a stake in that very deal through a chain of shell companies built around a failing road construction firm. And at the same time, Cantor Fitzgerald, the Wall Street bank run by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's sons, raises the money to make it happen. So the men, the dads setting American policy, were on one side of the table, and their sons were on the other. Now, why does this matter beyond just looking bad? Because it's a terrible way to actually get tungsten. The plan is to float this mine on the stock market before a single ton comes out of the ground, and that's not expected until 2030. Government backing pumps up the share price. Early investors cash out. The reward is the stock, not the metal. And it gets worse because what happens when a new administration takes over? Will this deal still hold in the United States? Is this really the way to build a secure 20-year supply line for a war metal on top of a deal that's one election away from being torn apart? And this is the same pattern, same playbook, just a new country. Let's go to Albania. where the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who's also a US peace envoy, and his wife Ivanka wants to build a $6 billion luxury resort on a protected island and a flamingo-filled lagoon. And what's the catch, you may ask? Albania changed its environmental law to allow this and fast-tracked approval right after Trump won re-election. And the money behind Kushner's fund is billions from Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, the very governments he negotiates with as a diplomat. Albanians are in the streets right now, and this is what they're chanting: Albania is not for sale. And notice the currency these countries pay in. It isn't only land and minerals, it's flattery and peace deals. In the Balkans, Trump brokered Kosovo's recognition of Israel, another notch on the Abraham Accords. Kazakhstan signed off on the accords as well. Meanwhile, Pakistan, though it has not signed the Abraham Accords, it has offered a Nobel Prize endorsement, which was the big news of 2025. Now, Pakistan signed a deal with World Liberty Financial, the Trump family's crypto venture, which sends the family 75% of the proceeds. The signing looked like a state visit, and the man who flew in to sign it, it was the son of Trump's own special envoy to Iran, Steve Witkoff. So here's where we are. A metal America genuinely needs, a peace deal that Trump genuinely wants, a crypto coin his family profits from, 3 different currencies, and in every single one, the people writing US policy and their children end up on the receiving end. Mixing national interest with personal, mixing policy with business. And the goals are real. The minerals matter, the peace matters. That's what makes this even more dangerous though, because when you fuse the national interest with the family interest, you can no longer tell where one ends and the other begins. And a deal built to enrich the deal makers is almost always a deal built to fail. And that's the link.